and you guys get to settle for me. Yay. Oh, wait, you know what? I said that before I started the recording, and then people are going to watch this recording and wonder why Leslie's not here. That was not smart thinking on my part. So the recording is officially going. So whoever's watching this, Leslie Reichert has the flu. We're rescheduling. She cannot join us. So I'm going to talk to you guys now. I've said it 3 times to those who are on this call. Yay. So I was trying to think of what I wanted to talk about with you guys. And, you know, I did come up with a few things that just kept coming to mind. But first, we have a lot of newbies that are going to be watching this because I know a bunch of them couldn't make it to the live thing. So I just wanted to quickly introduce myself since I haven't met most of them. I'm Kendall. Hey, I'm a senior Ruby upline, and I'm somewhere in your upline if you're watching this. I've been with Plexus 2.5 years. I got started because of tons of health stuff that I had. I had debilitating stomach issues. I was hospitalized. I was seeing doctors. I had stuff going on with kidneys and intestines and stomach lining and my ovaries. I mean, just crazy stuff going on. I was on medicine after medicine, and I was getting sicker and sicker. And finally, a medication that they gave me made me start losing my vision because it was attacking my nervous system. So that was my big, like, just crazy, eye-opener to medication side effects. So that was what brought me to Plexus. My cousin had shared it with me, and I decided I needed a natural approach to what I had going on, and it worked. It was, a huge, crazy blessing. Not only did it help with the stomach stuff, I went off of all my meds. I'm off of my allergy medication. My husband went off of a lot of medication. So, if you're new, you've really stumbled onto something that really is life-changing. Like when you're 2.5 years in, like I am, it's easy to just forget exactly what the products, have given you because, you've been out of pain for so long. I just forget the woman that I was. And so when I share my testimony, it just kind of reminds me like what this has done for me, how far that I have come since all the stuff that I was struggling with. So this brings me to kind of the first thing that came to mind when I found out I was on the spot going to get to talk to you guys. And that's belief, okay? Oh, and I do want to say really quickly, if you guys have a question for me, we have a chat box in the bottom of the screen. It says chat, and you can just click on my name, and you can ask me a question in there so that I can answer it for you, okay? But back to belief. Belief is the most important thing that you have to have in this. And the most important belief that you have to have is belief in yourself, okay? So there is nothing that I have or that anyone else in this company has that you don't have, okay? All of us are doing this because we care about the people in our lives and we want to help them. We care about changing our health, and we care about changing our family's financial future. And I mean, that is all that you have to have. And if you don't want to see your friends dealing with health issues anymore, if you don't want them to be struggling financially, then you have what it takes to do this because that's what we're about, okay? So you have to have belief in yourself. And then it's what you do with that belief that makes the difference of whether or not you succeed or not. You can have all the belief in the world, but if you aren't taking action on that, then it is not going to get you anywhere. Okay. If you don't spend time reaching out to people or sharing about the products, then it's not going to happen for you. It's really as simple as that. If you have 0 people under you, if you're just getting started with this, or if you have 500 or more people under you, you have to spend time every day doing something to further your business. Okay. Your own personal business. So that can be reaching out to your friends, learning about the products, reading books about leadership and growing yourself, because that's going to be a huge part of this as you start growing your team. You're leading them and you're trying to figure out what that looks like. And, a mom of 4 kids and I homeschool, like this was so foreign to me. Oh, hold on. Oh, sorry. Excuse my screaming son coming in. Hey, guys, can you grab Noah? Hold on, I'm going to mute y'all real fast so I can take care of my screaming child. Sorry. Again, life happens. This is fun. Sorry, guys. Hang on real quick, okay? Y'all just do what you're doing in your homes.
Really wish this rice cooker would tell me how many minutes to start, you know?
Okay, that was fun. My husband had disappeared and sister beat up on little brother. So yay. Now I get to figure out what I was talking about, but thankfully I am an obsessive person and I make a lot of notes. So we're just going to bring that back together. Okay. So we're talking about, let's see, belief. There we go. Okay. All back to belief. So you guys make sure, and sorry if I'm a little frazzled from all that. Whew, okay. But just make sure you guys are doing what you're doing. And I know it gets hard, especially the more you do this and the longer that you go and you do start building that team under you, it's easy for people to start, losing track of the fact that we have to work on our own business as well. And we can't just, if you get 3 or 4 people, we're tempted to start pouring into those people, and that's great. We have to do that. But remember that we are the CEOs of our own business. And our direct business is our level ones and the people that we're developing so that then they can duplicate that down. Okay. So we also have like a gazillion training videos on YouTube that you guys can watch. So especially for you newbies, that's a great place to get started. Okay. But you have to make sure that you're working towards your goal. Okay. So next I want to talk, if you guys have belief in yourself in this, you also have to have belief in the products. Okay. If you don't have your belief yet, if you're just starting, or if you've been doing this for a while and you're just kind of stuck, I encourage you guys, go to the Plexus Worldwide YouTube channel and search for the opportunity meetings. Okay. Or not that. Yes. The opportunity meetings. They're calls that they have on there that, they record and you guys can listen to them. There's health testimonies, there's business testimonies. They go over all the products. So it's a great place for you to learn about the products. And when I joined, starting week 1, I started listening to these opportunity calls, and guys, that grew my belief faster than anything else did. Okay. There's just nothing better than like hearing from live people about what this has done for them. And if you're 2.5 years in, like I am, we still need that renewal of our belief in this. And we still need to be reminded why we're taking time away from our family to work on this. And why we're being bold and reaching out to our friends. Okay. So I encourage you guys to do that. All this kind of leads into passion. And that's the next thing I want to talk about is you need to have passion to do this. Okay. If you're happy just spending 5 minutes a day, posting on Facebook, then that's fine, but that's not going to grow your team. Okay. So you need to be passionate about this. Guys, we know that these are life-changing products. They really are. And, for you newbies, that doesn't mean that you have to go crazy and like jump way out of your comfort zone right off the bat. That's not the case. Okay. But when you are sharing it with your first few people, be passionate that you're doing this. Be excited that you're doing this. Be thankful that something has come along that's helping a lot of people and it's natural, and, that it might change your life or, could change the life of people that you care about. So, be excited about that because your passion is going to drive others to action. Okay. So if they see your excitement in this and your belief and your passion, then they're going to want what you have. So, I just encourage you guys to keep that in mind. And like when you're talking to them about it, don't say stuff like, maybe it'll work. I don't know. We'll see. Tell them instead, like, after everything I've read, I fully believe that this will work and you need to do this with me. Okay. So work on your passion. Next is I really want you guys to dream big. Now, this is different from goal setting. Okay. I do want you to have big goals. It's important, but little goals are what get you to your big goals. By dream big, I want you guys to like imagine yourselves as an Emerald ambassador driving around in your free Lexus that Plexus gave you. Or, imagine yourself hopping on the airplane, getting ready to fly to Hawaii, first class on Plexus's dime. Like, really imagine that stuff and imagine, all those other perks we get. But more importantly than that, like, I want you to think about, what would your family look like if you were 100% out of debt? Or, what would it look like if you could pay all your bills on time? Or if you could put $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month into savings on top of paying your bills. For us, I would freak out at the thought of a car like blowing a tire, because how are we going to pay for that? Or kids' medical bills. So this is stuff that, this is huge. Like, what if you have a friend who's struggling and it's not a problem to help them financially, and you don't have to stress about if that's going to hurt your budget to help a friend? Okay. Like, could you imagine the peace that comes along with that kind of financial freedom? So, I just encourage you guys, dream really big with this. Okay. Don't limit yourself to just wanting to cover the cost of your products or make a few $100 extra every month. Those are really good goals, but there really is so much out there, and I don't want you to limit yourselves, because you can do this. You really can get there. All it takes is the desire to help others and to share this with them, and it's going to change their lives as well. So take action and tell them about it. Now I want to talk a little bit about sharing unapologetically. And I don't remember who I talked to about this the other day, but I cannot tell you how many times I have met somebody and then, they tell me stuff that they're struggling with, and then I bite my tongue and I don't bring up Plexus because I'm afraid that they're going to be annoyed or they're going to think I'm trying to sell to them. And we have to stop that. We really do, okay? Because our fears of what might happen, they stop us from seeing what is really going to happen. Okay. So don't apologize for sharing with them, because, all this, it just ties back to your passion. Like, share with them because you truly believe that they will benefit from hearing what you're telling them. Okay. So for example, I went to go get a pedicure the other day because my toenails desperately needed it. And there was a lady sitting next to me, and she had a janky toenail. Okay. We all know what janky toenails look like. And she was telling the lady that was doing her toes that, she had been to a podiatrist and her doctor, and she had biopsies on it, and nobody could get rid of it. And it was not a pretty sight. And so in my mind, I was thinking, like, well, is it going to offend her if I point out the fact that, yes, I also noticed her janky toenail and I was eavesdropping? And like, I started having all those thoughts go through my mind, but I just stopped myself and I pulled out my business card and I handed it to her, and I told her, look, you need to go to this website and order the ProBio 5. It has been a lifesaver for people who are struggling with that. And she was just blown away, and we got to have a great conversation about it. So my fears of, is she going to get offended? I'm eavesdropping, that stuff didn't come true. And so we have to take that chance and be bold, because it could be, before I left, she's like, thank you so much for telling me about this, because it's something she's been embarrassed about her whole life. Or I guess it was like 6 years. She said she'd had it, and she was like 80. So that was totally not her whole life, but you know what I mean? If you have a friend who has headaches, then instead of like, oh, I'm so sorry, I don't mean to offend you, don't say that. Like, just tell them, like, hey, you really need to try this. It is helping so many people with that. And, I think it could help you too. Like, be confident in that, and don't worry if, be unapologetic, and don't worry about the outcome, because you don't know it yet. So don't guess a negative outcome, which is what we always do. And so be bold with this, be passionate about it, don't hesitate, and don't miss a moment, really, okay? If you have to give yourself a little mental pep talk to remind yourself, that this could change your life, if you just open your mouth, then do that. I had to do that this morning when I was talking to a friend at church, and, I mentally told myself, I was like, just open your dang mouth and start talking boldly. Like, that's what was chanting through my brain at myself. And guess what? She was not offended or annoyed that I talked about it. And we ended up having a great conversation about Plexus. And so, guys, you love this for a reason, and you're not mad at the person that told you about this. So let's just stop worrying about that stuff, and let's take that pressure off our shoulders, because I think all of us worry about that way too much, and that's what paralyzes us in our action. And so instead of sharing it with people and reaching out to them, we're just paralyzed by the fears of the what if. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind when you are working your business daily. And a big thing that I do all the time that I wanted to make sure to bring up is, when we're messaging somebody, let's stop worrying if we're going to annoy them, because trust me, they're going to tell you if you annoy them. And then that's like a person you can just mark off your list that you don't have to stress about following up with. Okay. So it's kind of like nice when they tell you stop annoying me, because, it's one less thing to worry about. But, we just like, you don't want to say, when you start your message, say, like, hey, whoever, like, I promise I don't mean to annoy you, but I just wanted to tell you about Plexus. Like, I am so guilty of starting every message that way. Like, I don't mean to annoy you. I don't mean to pressure you. Like, let's just stop doing that, because we're pointing it out to them. And, like, I guess it's kind of the reverse effect in my mind. But anyway, so I just want to make sure to bring that up. But the last thing I kind of want to talk about is duplication. Okay. So this is the big one. In my 2.5 years that I've done this, duplication, it's seriously been like the hardest thing to figure out. It really is. How, when you get somebody, to get them to start duplicating and growing your team. So most of us, we sign a new person, and then like the only way that we know how to get them started is by telling them what we did. And yes, you are welcome for bringing that up, Corey. It's hard. Like, we tell them what we did and we think that they're just going to go run with it. But guys, not everyone grows their business the same way. So what you did might not work for them. So I want to share a few things that, I've just been thinking on a bit that will hopefully help us in this department. Okay. So I want everybody to like have something to write down, because I don't want you to forget this. Okay. So everybody, yeah, you got it. I'm seeing papers and pencils coming out. Okay. So first of all, when you have a new person signing up, you want to get them on the phone as soon as possible. So I know a lot of you do this, but I want you to walk them through the sign up process, if at all possible, if you can, okay? Because I see so many people that sign up and they either don't get a welcome pack or they don't get a backup order, okay? They don't turn on their backup order. And it seems like across the board, it's because they didn't know what it was, or, they didn't know that they needed to turn on their backup order, or, if they upgraded from preferred, they might not know what that is. Okay. So as far as the backup order goes, I know that this can be confusing to explain to people. And so I wanted to tell you what I do whenever I sign somebody up. I don't explain the backup order to them right then and there. I just tell them, when we get to the backup order page, I just tell them, you need to pick one of these. It's usually the triplex. You're not going to be charged this right now, I promise. And I will just send you a thing explaining what it is, but you do have to select one. And I just leave it at that. And that way it takes the confusion out of it whenever you're signing them up. Okay. And I do have an explanation that I can send you guys for how I explain the backup order to people. And that way you make sure, because if their backup order is turned on, you are more than likely going to have them do it for at least a second month. Okay. And especially people who are trying to go silver. If their new ambassadors do not have that backup order turned on, then, then you're not going to have them count. You're not going to have them count toward you going silver. They have to have that on. And fine, I will make sure to send that to you. Okay. So now you've done that. And once you're done signing them up and you now have a new ambassador, this is the kind of the new thing that I've been trying with a couple people, and I've loved it. It's worked great. Immediately start a group message thread between that person and your upline. Okay. So, you are the sponsor, you have your newbie, and then you have your upline. And sorry, I can't see myself. And I realized I'm like waving my finger in front of the camera. I will stop that. So, just start the group message thread. And even if they don't want to work the business, okay, whether they're just a wholesaler or they want to work the business, and just say, hey, Sarah, I just wanted to introduce you to my upline, April. She can help answer questions that you may have. And, she's just going to help encourage you in this process. It's super easy, okay, to start this group message thread. And then the upline, your role in this is to start asking questions. So, you can say like, hey, Sarah, how long have you been doing this? Have you gotten your products yet and been able to start? Just tell me a little bit about what you have going on health-wise, if you don't mind, because I want to be able, to help you as you're going through this. And just get conversation going, okay? So this is first going to help them feel right off the bat like there's a support system here, and we want them to feel that. My vision with our team is like, I want this to be like a true community, regardless of who your direct upline is. It doesn't matter. Okay. We're all one team. And so the more support that they can get, the more they get plugged into our team. Okay. But the other beauty of this is that this will help to not have all the pressure on just the sponsor, okay, on just the person that signed them. So this is especially hard for new people who are still learning themselves, and then they sign somebody and then they're like, well, what do I do now? Because I don't know how to train them because I'm still learning myself. So what this does, I'm sorry, you can both be checking on them, and you can both be answering questions and encouraging them. So I'm sorry, I'm not used to talking this much. So I'm telling you now, guys, like if they feel supported, then they're gonna stay with this a lot longer. And we see so many people who come in and they try it for 1 month and then they quit. And we're like, guys, it's been 1 month. But the more customers you get, the harder it is to check on everybody. And so if you have these group message threads going with your upline, then they have a double support system. So another big thing is when people start going through detox, okay, if they're hearing from 2 different people that detox is completely normal, you're going to get through that, then they're more prone to believe that, okay? So another thing that I would love for you guys to do is try to get them on a Zoom chat with the upline as soon as possible, okay? So that the upline can share their story and encourage them in the business. Now, I'm happy to do as many of these Zoom chats with you guys as you need, and I know that there's others on this team that are happy to do that as well. And if you have never done one, then let me know and you can bring me in on it as well. Okay. So I know some of you haven't. I've been doing a lot of these lately because I love connecting with the new team members. I love knowing who everybody is because I hate all these new names pop up and me having no clue who that person is like forever. So, I don't mind doing that with you guys. And it's really easy. If you don't know how to ask them if they'll do a Zoom chat with your upline, then it's easy for the upline to ask, okay? So the upline, you already have this group message thread going, and the upline can just say, hey, Sarah, any chance that you can get on a little video chat for about 15 minutes tonight or tomorrow night? I would just love to actually meet you face to face, and I just kind of want to share a bit of my story so that you understand where I'm coming from in this. And, I also want to help educate you a little bit on how the products work. Okay, so that's super easy for the upline to say in this group message thread. And a lot of times I even do the little voice message so that they know I'm not a creeper, because it kind of helps for them, to hear your voice. So also, whether they want to do the business or not, I try to encourage them to take a picture of their products and then just share with their friends what they're doing on Facebook. And I know, especially if they're not interested in the business, this is hard, but I always remind people, like, you don't know if there's other people that are struggling with what there probably is other people who are struggling with the same stuff as you. And maybe there's somebody out there that needs to hear that they're not alone. And, maybe you telling your friend about it, maybe that you're giving this a shot will make them, want to do this as well. Maybe that, they want relief from what they're struggling with. And so I have an example message for that as well that you guys can use if you don't know, if they don't know what to say on their first post. I'd love to help with that. If they aren't comfortable with it, then another thing that you can do is ask them if you can post and tag them in it. Okay. So just tell them, like, do you mind if I just do a post and tag you in it? Because this is a lot easier for them. Hold on, Corey, let me read your thing. And, it's so easy for us to, and when I have a post for that as well, that you can tell, it's something so informal, like, hey guys, I'm really excited that my friend Sarah has joined me and she's given Plexus a shot. She's dealt with blood sugar issues and she has back pain and, whatever it is that they're dealing with. And she's dealt with this for a long time and she is so tired of dealing with it. These are natural products that have helped thousands, including myself. And I'm just so thankful that she's decided to take a chance on it. So welcome to the team, Sarah. And that is something that is very, it's not pushy. We're not selling here, guys. We're sharing with our friends because we want it to help our friends. And so if you have somebody that's hesitant to even let you tag them, like send them that message and say, look, this is all I would say. It's not scary, So, this is something that I have a couple people on my team that have been doing this for their new ambassadors. And it's been amazing, because it just helps them get the word out there to their friends. So whether you have a wholesaler or you have somebody ready for the business, I encourage you guys, work with them on their first post. Let me know if you need, what I do, or I'm sure you guys could come up with something. And if they're not comfortable, work on them letting you post for them and just tagging them. Okay. So ultimately, our goal is to help them reach silver in their first week, okay? I hear all the time from people that they don't want to start sharing until they at least have their products and know if they like how it tastes, or they have to have their own testimony. But I'm telling you now, this is not necessary, because when I signed up, the very next day, I just told a friend, hey, I'm trying this. And she wanted to try it too. Okay. I didn't even know there was a business, but I did that. She became my first customer. The day after that, I told my mom and my sisters, yeah, I'm trying that stuff. And, I hope it works. I don't know. And we chatted about it. And then they wanted to do it. And I became a silver ambassador before I even received my products. Okay. I had made $300 in 4 days. And I didn't even know if I liked the stuff or if it worked. And then, I got my stuff, I tried it. And in my first month, because I recognized quickly that there's nothing else out there like these products, I recognized very fast that I have a lot of friends that could benefit from this. And so I started reaching out to people, and I stepped way out of my comfort zone because I'm not comfortable with that, but I did anyway. And in my first month, I signed 22 ambassadors to my team and 16 customers. And excuse my children screaming in the background. Apparently my husband's not doing very good crowd control. I warned him on this. But, so between 22 ambassadors and 16 customers, guys, like that was me not even really knowing that I'm working the business. I was just sharing with people. So you don't have to have your own testimony. You don't have to have even tried the products. Okay. So I want you guys, if you're new, just push that aside, because you have so many people in your life that need to hear about it now. They are dealing with stuff now, and they don't want to wait until you have some miraculous testimony. They need it now. So I just want to encourage you guys in that. Okay. Make sure that you're adding people to our team pages, whether they want to work the business or not, because many of the people get inspired there. Okay. They see the stuff that we post about the products and about people joining. And so it's an inspiration to them. So make sure to add them, because I cannot tell you how many people, originally tell me that they have no interest in the business, and then something inspires them to give it a shot. So make sure there's testimony pages, and then there's team pages. You need to add them to both. Okay. There's whoever your direct upline is might have a page, or, there's my page. There's a couple testimony pages that are awesome. So just make sure, if you're not added in that you ask your upline about that. Then make sure all newbies go in there. And then just one more thing. A few weeks ago, we had Chris and Susie McCall on our training call, and it was awesome. But one of my biggest takeaways from that, and I know Esther told me it was her biggest takeaway as well, I think she's on this call, is they said that when you're growing your team and you're trying to rank up, you need to add 3 people somewhere on your team every single week. Okay. It doesn't mean you have to directly sign them, but somewhere on your team, 3 people need to be added weekly. So if you don't have a working team yet, okay, if you're brand new with this, then that means that you do need to focus on this. You need to be the one adding 3 people. Or say you do have a team, but only a handful are working, okay? You still need to be focusing on this, on getting yourself 3 new people weekly, okay? Because that's steady growth, guys. That's what it takes in order to reach those big dreams that we have of emerald and sapphire and diamond, those top 3 levels. And so the faster that you grow in this, the more motivated you're going to be. And the more motivation that you feel, the easier this is to do. It's not a struggle. If you're unmotivated, you have to struggle to do this. And so I encourage you, just do more than you think you can do, because there's people out there that need this. And if you don't have people you're joining your team right now, it's because you haven't found those people yet that are desperate. And keep pushing and keep doing it, because you're going to find them. Okay. So I encourage you guys to focus on sharing daily with at least 2 to 3 people. And it sounds like a lot, but when you think about it, if you sit down to write somebody a message, I mean, how long does that take? It takes a couple minutes, okay? So if you just have dedicated time to doing that, then you're going to get it done, okay? I just really want you guys to hit your goals. And I know some of you, I'm like, I don't know, like a broken record when it comes to that. But this is huge for me, okay? Like, I pray for everybody on my team. I do. Every day I pray for you guys, regardless of if I even know you or not. I know what success with this company has done for my family and how it has just transformed our life. And I want that for everybody. I want that for all of you. And my huge goal is for us to add 100 people by the end of May. I posted that on my team page. You guys know. But I mean, if those who are working even added like 2 or 3 people, we would fly past that, okay? And that's in 60 days, so that's a lot of days. But I'm trying so hard. I want to help everybody get to their next rank by convention, regardless of whether or not you're going to convention. I want you guys to be able to grow your teams. I want you to grow your paycheck. I want to help you grow your motivation, and I want to help you grow your passion. It's really exciting when things start like coming together and you start seeing your friends just jump on board with you on this. And so, all you need to focus on is making sure that you're taking the steps that it takes to get there, and that you are focusing on doing what you know that you need to do. And so I love you guys. I'm really happy you were able to get on here, and I'm sorry you had to settle for me and my screaming son instead of awesome Leslie. But if you guys have questions, I've had some pop up, but I have my notes. And so of course I tell you guys, ask questions, and then I can't see them because my notes are in the way. So does anybody you can unmute yourself if you have a question for me. You'll see the little microphone with the line across it. Oh, Amanda, go ahead and unmute yourself, sweetie. I think you are unmuted now.
Yep. Hi guys. I just wanted to ask, I missed the first few minutes and I got up to goal part, and then so I kind of didn't hear anything.
I got this recorded. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you know what I missed though? What was that first thing before goal?
Well, do you know, first of all, why Leslie wasn't here?
I saw Corey message me about pregnancy.
Oh, yeah. Well, she has the flu.
Oh.
She's down with the flu this morning, and she's 8 months pregnant and is now like bedridden.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Hold on. See, because I have my notes, I can tell you what's before goal setting. Well, I don't know if I talked about goal setting specifically. I talked about dreaming big.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's quite a bit. Do you want me I'll post the recording on my team page. Do you want to just pull it all from there? And then you can watch it all and let me know if you have questions about the first couple stuff that I talk about. Because it might be easier. Otherwise, we'll have another like 20 to 30 minute call on our hands if I go over it all.
I didn't know if you had like a quick bullet point about it. That was all.
Oh, I mean, not really. It's more like, developing your belief, and I just talked a bit about that, and, how to work on yourself and how to get passionate about this. And so, but yeah, I'll let you listen to the call. So
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay.
Does anybody else have questions? I want to make sure while we are live and I can actually see your awesome little faces that you can ask me. Amanda raised her hand. I didn't know that there was a raise hand feature. That's really cool. Oh, Corey's raising his hand. Corey, do you want to ask me a question? Here, I'm going to unmute you. Or you can unmute you. Hold on. Still figuring this out. Okay, Corey, you're unmuted. I can't hear you. Where are you? Okay, I don't think Corey gets to ask a question. You're going to have to type me your question. Your thing isn't working. I can't hear anything you say. Okay. Well, yes, guys, all of these, oh, Rachel, so she asked if I can, post all the messages in the comments. That would be hard to do it in the comments right here because I'd have to like go into Word documents and find where I have them saved and all that. So that would probably take forever. But I will make sure that I have them.
Can you do it on the post though, or no?
You know what? I can do it on that post that I have that has the link to this call. So I can do it in the comment section of that one.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I was trying to type it before you hung the call up, so.
Oh, you're so funny. And Chris, yes, you can go to dinner, sweetie. Okay. Oh, Fawn lowered her hand. Ooh, there's a raise hand and lower her hand. I don't know if that means she wants to talk or not. But okay, guys. Well, I'm glad you guys made it on here. Woo-hoo. And I'm sorry you didn't get. Oh, wait. 2 more raised hands. Fawn, you can unmute yourself. Here, hold on. There you go.
Okay. Sorry. I raised my hand, but it didn't. Anyways. I was just going to say, can you put all this stuff in the files section? Because on our Facebook page? Okay, because it'll be easier than going through all the comments.
Yeah, I can definitely do that. And I have all kinds of examples of stuff. Some stuff I probably wouldn't want on the team page just because I have sent it to people, and if they join my team, I don't want them seeing the exact message I sent them in the file section. So
okay.
That kind of stuff I would prefer to like private message, or I know we're all in that group thread. And so I can share it there, or I don't know. I'm trying to think of a way to do that wouldn't be kind of an in your face. Like, I don't want them to feel like I'm like duping them or something,
Right.
So, I don't know. I'll have to think through that one, but I mean, I can definitely get it to whoever wants it, obviously. So yes, Corey, I see your chat. We just couldn't hear your voice. Sorry. Corey's chatting to me privately. He doesn't like to put it on the whole group message thread. But yeah, so I will make sure you get it though, Fawn, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Yes. Does anybody else have a question before we get off of here? Anybody else? Okay. Well then, you guys, I'm going to stop the recording real quick. Hang on just a second.